The other night on University Avenue, if you were outside looking in, you would have been drawn in.
We'll get started, so we're excited. Thanks, guys.
To see what was going on inside this clothing store transformed for one evening into a cozy concert hall, a dreamy art gallery, a gathering place for kindred spirits willing to share their stories.
I'm 35, and I wasn't able to say that I was homeless as a kid until this year.
Cherise McKinney kept it to herself for all these years, aware that one day this story about her own homelessness as a kid would emerge in her work, influence her art, and touch her beyond words.
You know, we lived in motels, and then we lived in cars a little bit, and I was 7 years old. It was really rough to be that kid who was so ashamed of circumstances.
She explores universal themes in her daily sketches.
One single emotion.
Loss, love.
Grief.
The grief can surface suddenly, unexpectedly.
Is it hard talking about it with me?
Oh yeah. I remember seeing my mom, who made some bad choices, but even people that make bad choices, they don't want to make those choices, but they do. And I remember watching her be so judged. So, yeah.
That was hard for you.
Yep. But you either channel it and move forward, or you don't.
For Cherise, moving forward meant creating beauty. This.
And this one is Promised Land.
A series of portraits of the homeless in Seattle.
Human Condition.
Sales from Cherise's work will be donated to Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
This one is Outside the Door.
The one portrait not for sale is this one.
This one is called Fallon. I had to keep it as her name. Big story behind that name.
And this is her story.
Just a young girl, couch surfing, homeless.
It's true.
Yeah, living in shelters, people's living rooms.
19-year-old Fallon has been homeless 6 years.
Staircase a couple of times.
One would never know looking at you.
Yeah, I think you don't have to look homeless to be homeless.
Fallon is willing to have her story told, her face shown. Now, these are for sale. T-shirts with Fallon front and center. Union Gospel Mission has a clothing line that humanizes our homeless neighbors, puts a face, Fallon's face this time, on homelessness.
It's scary and stressful, and there's a lot of different hard parts.
It's all part of the Others Like Us project, Lulu. From her home studio, Cherise created Fallon's portrait that would eventually go on those shirts. Her gift to the mission, her hope for a more compassionate world.
I really feel like this is one of the best portraits that I've ever done.
Cherise couldn't wait to show Fallon her portrait a few weeks ago, promising it would be hers to keep.
This is amazing.
After the event benefiting
That's so cool.
Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
To represent the Others Like Us brand, and we're just excited to have y'all.
I'm hoping that this illustrates the humanity piece of someone who is homeless.
I think that it takes what is unknown and makes it known.
Jeannie and Russ Peterson bought 6 Fallon t-shirts that first night of the sale.
Those faces that you see, and they're just another face, but now you have the story with it.
Ready?
And Fallon's story is also this.
If I had you back in my world.
She's been working part-time as a barista. Fallon has dreams of working full-time as a singer.
If you let me back in.
Her next performance,
And we're gonna get started with our first act.
it's now, it's here, and Cherise and the others are waiting.
I could not imagine life without music.
This would be Fallon's night. Her face, her voice,
It was me.
her story.
I want to be successful, yeah, definitely.
Cherise knows that story.
She just had a hard time growing up, and so she's doing what she has to do to make it work.
She's lived it.
I do kind of see myself when I look at that picture, knowing that it could be okay when you get out alive.
No one in the audience knew this at the time as they waited for the guest of honor. It turns out Fallon was there, feeling fragile, but she couldn't bring herself to walk through that door. She found herself on the outside looking in just before she decided to walk away.
My thought is sympathy for that, and I wish I would have known that she was outside and not able to come in. I wouldn't have gone out to try to force her to come in. I would have gone out and walked her to where she wanted to go.
And that, too, is part of the story. That as much as we want them,
If you let me back in,
storybook endings are often hard to find.
never let you go again. Hey, baby.
I wish I could have written one right now.
That is the reality of being homeless,
It's life.
because it's hard.
John Sharifi, King 5 News.